Thank you very much, and I'd like to congratulate Paolo in condensing his speech into 25 minutes. Fantastic. Done well there, fellow, well done. I think you'll all agree with the day that's happened today has been absolutely fantastic, and you know, we were, I think, all on the top table. Everyone would congratulate everyone for coming over. It's been absolutely fantastic. It made it all the more special for you guys. All the people that have made the effort to come over has been absolutely amazing, and I know it means a lot to Paul and Sharon. And you know, I'd just like to say thank you very much for everyone that's made the effort to come over. I'd like to firstly start my speech by complimenting Sharon. I think everyone will agree she looks absolutely stunning. Yay! And basically, I'd like to welcome you, Sharon, into the family. All right, it might not be a fantastic family, but I'd like to welcome you into the family. It seems like only yesterday that I saw you coming down to East Grinstead Football Club in your silky white shell suit. Paolo still uses now, I think. There's a breakdancing competition with Snowy. And for you that haven't seen it, then I'm sure you'll see it later on the dance floor. Yeah, I mean, Sharon, basically, you know, you stood out in the crowd then, and obviously Paolo saw you, and you know, I thought you were there for me, to be honest, but obviously the older brother stepped in, and the rest is history. So you know, it was really fantastic, and you've been like a sister to me for longer than I can remember. Apparently now I'm meant to stand and tell you stories about Paolo, but I think you've been with us long enough to know everything that's gone on with Paolo. But I'm very, very proud to welcome you into the family. And not just you two, but Hayden and Charlotte, two fantastic kids, and two kids and a family that I'm so very proud to say that I'm part of. So I'd like everyone to just raise a glass to Paul, Sharon and their family.
Yay!
I'll drink to that. Drink to anything.
So, Paolo, it's now tradition for me to share a few stories with people and tell people, you know, a few stories that they should probably don't know about you. You know, Sharon's probably privy to most of them, but you know, I'll have a little go at letting everybody know in a few things. You've always been a confident person, and from an early age, you'd always put yourself out there first, and know so much better than when you were a Cub Scout. And when Paul was a Cub Scout, basically there was a swimming gala, and this swimming gala, basically they had enough people, and then someone dropped out because they were ill. And Paolo decided that he was the man for the job. They asked who could swim. Paolo said I could swim. So they took him along on the bus to Crawley Swimming Centre. We all went along as a proud family, went across. Paolo was there in his Speedos, looking very, very nice. We were up in the top there, looking down on him, fantastic. Paolo was the last one to swim. So the Cub Scouts, they went, and our Cub group were doing really, really well, and they were leading. But I think near enough almost a full length if they were leading. They pass over to Paolo. Paolo jumps in, with frog legs by the way. He jumps in. He never surfaced. Never ever surfaced. And all of a sudden people were a bit worried, and then people dived in after him and lifted him out. But you were very, honestly, I had to admire your confidence. They lost, not but you put yourself forward. You put yourself forward, and to me that was you know, a trait in you that I've seen all the way through, and I'm very proud to say that you're a very confident person. Thank you. No, not yeah, oh, there's a lot more.
We got all night.
We're obviously, you know, here at Paul and Sharon's wedding, and Paolo loves a wedding. Normally it's my wedding he's at, I'm only joking. But he loves a wedding, he loves a wedding. But there's a couple of stories that really stick out for Paolo from a young age when we were at weddings, and the first one was at my auntie and uncle's wedding, where Paul thought he was tough at the age of sort of like 8 or 9. Everyone, as you're sitting now on tables, and there was a few drinks left in people's glasses, Paul thought he was going to go around and drink everybody's drinks left in their glasses. It got to the point where Paul had got himself a little drunk at the age of 8 or 9. And then there were the big family photos. It worked a bit differently then. And Paolo had the family photos, and in these photos, Paolo was seen in the front. Everyone's photos that they've got on their mantelpiece, ruining by doing the Everyone paid a lot of money at the time, and Paolo was banished to the back of the car. I don't think I saw you until the Monday morning, but it was funny. It was very, very funny at the time. There was also the time up in Leeds, Paolo, when we went to my cousin's wedding, where Paolo basically, he likes to think of himself as a bit of a fashion guru. And this particular time we went up to Leeds and my cousins were getting married, and Paul went into a market and he saw these silver bomber jackets that he thought were the nuts. He thought, this is for me. So he's way ahead of his time. This bloke only had 5 of them to sell. I think you bought 4 or 5. And anyway, we went to the wedding and Paolo was there, and he decided, he's there and everyone's doing speeches and stuff. And Paul being Paul, like Del Trotter, and he was leaning against the side, giving it all that. And what Paul didn't realise is he was against the radiator. And when it was time for family photos, he walked away and half his jacket stayed on the radiator. You put out your own money. You did really well. So it was from that. You loved a bit of a wedding.
I did.
So, moving on from our childhood, it's ever since I can remember, I've shared a bedroom with Paolo and my brother Brian, and that in itself was an experience. And Brian, it's absolutely fantastic that you've come over, and both Paolo and I, this is the first time that we've all been together, and it's fantastic to have you here. And we're over the moon. In itself was a very, very scary concept to share a bedroom with 2 older brothers, and sometimes I could wake up with Brian's hands around my throat for snoring, which I still don't believe I do.
However, 33 rooms last night would disagree.
We shared a bedroom from an early age, and Paolo and I always used to sort of like get chucked in with each other, and I've always learnt from an early age to sort of like sleep with one eye open. And the reason this started was from a very early age. I think I was about 5 or 6. We went to my nan and granddad's for Christmas, and my brother Brian was old enough to be in a room on his own, but Paolo and I got to share. And Paolo was on a little camp bed by the side of my bed, and
That ain't funny.
I think it bonded us, Paolo. But I must have had a bad dream or something. But I woke to Paolo screaming and shouting and saying, "Who's left the window open?" When they actually, it's very scary. You shouldn't wake someone when they're sleepwalking, Paolo. But
You shouldn't do what you did.
I was actually standing over the top of Paolo and actually peeing in his face. He said he had forgiven me, but to the time we always shared a bedroom, I always had one eye open just in case he wanted to seek revenge. So I was unsure whether that would happen.
I think you did in Ibiza, to be fair, Paolo.
You can pay people for that thing.
But I've got to say that the best memories I've had from my childhood are sharing a bedroom with my 2 older brothers.
Kinky.
It's not just through the late night chats and them sort of like experiencing everything before I did, and then I get to, well, I was meant to learn from their mistakes, but it never really happened. But we had some great good night banter, didn't we, at the end, and some like, you know, really good laughs going through. And we had the, like, you know, farting competitions, but it had to stop at what, the age of about 12 or 13 when Brian decided that he wanted to take it a little bit too far and he wanted to win a little bit too much. Let's just say, we had to call it a day, Brian, didn't we? Funny, doesn't it? It was fantastic, and like, I have some fantastic memories from there. We were given a dartboard at the age of,
I was going to beat that.
at the age of, I was about 8 or 9, and we were given a dartboard, and my dad gave us the biggest backdrop you could ever have, so that we didn't hit the wall. We didn't touch one dart in the dartboard; it went everywhere. And one afternoon, when Paolo and I were a bit bored, I had a dart in my hand. and I was spinning around in my room, and I'm telling them I'm going to let go, I'm going to let go. And they went, no, don't do it, don't do it. I went, it won't hit you, it won't hit you. And I let go, and it went straight in his eye. And I jumped over the bed and put my hand over his mouth, went,